Alright guys, welcome back to the right side of the X-Magica showcase. I actually did this one on the main account pretty well, but then lost the recording of it. I had used Kushala again for CGR, but on this account I went with Wiccan. Same idea, you have to hit into the block as a global like X-Magica attacker in order to get up your prowess. Try and make sure he doesn't throw a special 2 or a heavy attack, which can be a little annoying. So it did take me a few tries to get a good run where he doesn't throw a like rogue heavy and then gets his 5th judgment and melts you with the degen. So as long as he doesn't throw that heavy or special 2, then you are pretty good to go here. Similar to Kushala, you're going to get your biggest damage with the special 2 from Wiccan. So nothing too crazy here. Again, sometimes I'll try and block the part of the special one as long as it's not unblockable. Got to keep tabs on that. If you get hit by the unblockable one, you are going to take a bunch of incinerate damage because you are not incinerate immune. It works out pretty well. Actually, the other round I did Kushala with Negasonic, with an Odin, and with Viv. And I did really well. Odin was just used to give Negasonic the shock immunity to help on Nick Fury. And I ended up doing really well. I think I had 1 revive on Kingpin. I don't think any revives on Fury. I just used a combination of Negasonic with the shock immunity from Odin and Kushala, and then I had like 2 revives with Kushala on Adam Warlock, and then managed to solo Lady Deathstrike and Shuri with Viv this time, and ended up bringing in Void at the end to solo Thing. So it went really, really well. But this one goes well up to a certain point, and then I kind of lost my mojo at one point and get a little bit rocked, but it's not the end of the world. So we do get the solo on CGR. Viv against Lady Deathstrike. This is what I tried on my first path on the left one, and I didn't get through it, and I had to finish with Kushala. This time Viv is going to have a perfect fight here. Even though there are going to be points where Lady Deathstrike gets the unstoppable during the special, there's enough distance and she doesn't counter me directly afterwards, so I end up being okay. But here we continue to phase for our openings, right? If you parry with Viv, as long as you've done one of the a medium ending combo in between, then you're good to go with another phase. Like as long as you do a full combo, I think light or medium ending. But I like to go with the medium enders because that's what I'm used to. And then I can go ahead and parry again. When I parry, I'm gonna phase. So here I gotta watch out for the unblockable special. I'm just trying to build up to 2 bars at the moment. So I got even this special one, even through the unstoppable, it's still doing the damage. Then by the last one, the unstoppable is gone, and did my usual special 2 to unblockable special 1s and got tons of damage off. So like almost 75% or almost 60% of the damage done already. And we're just going to continue to do the same thing here. Also, I can't have any of my buffs nullified. So for buffet, it's not a big deal here. We just continue using our phase. Even when she's unblockable, we can phase our attacks and get our openings. Get a nice heavy attack there. Just bait out a special. And we just continue to get our unblockable special 1s in again. And we are actually going to almost nuke her down. We've got a little bit left to go. And okay, now she's gaining a little bit of health. I gotta build up a few more solar charges just to finish this one off. Again, I'm gonna back up to make sure that I can get my proper parry in so I can phase. 4% left. I'm going to go ahead, attack in, and almost still 2% left. Okay. Bait out a special. Get a striker in, and we finish with a full yellow bar. So clean fight there. Next, I've got Bishop here for the Kate fight. He can parry against Kate, no problem. So there's really nothing too big of a deal here. She is a global, but so are we. I don't play this fight particularly well. I think I make a bunch of mistakes in it, but we still get through this. It's very similar to the CGR fight at the beginning, hitting into the block in order to build up your prowess, evade the specials, and counter. Nothing else too crazy with this one. You do have to be careful about like purifying debuffs and then getting a damage reflect on, but Kate doesn't really purify too many debuffs here, so I'm not too concerned about it. We get off a nice big special 2. Negasonic was absolutely amazing for this one as well, because she's another champion that can parry and counter Kate anytime. Bishop can do the same thing. There you can see right now I've got that indestructible charge on. I got to hit into the block or parry in order to remove it. So nothing, again, nothing too crazy. So I'm going to let the music play for the rest of this fight, and we'll see you at Kingpin. All right, so Bishop took care of Kate, and Bishop is also going to work for Kingpin. He does have a node where if he purifies a debuff, he's going to gain a charge that increases his power gain rate. When I used Negasonic on my main account, eventually he ramped up to like 20 charges, and every hit was giving him so much power that I got like 75% through the fight, and then he was like pushing him to a special 3. And even though the node actually has an invulnerability boost, so your first 3 hits are not going to do any damage, like when you get hit the first 3 times, but his special 3 hit me and stunned me afterwards, and I was dead. But on this one here, he did not purify as many debuffs, and because of that, he did not trigger the he didn't trigger those energized charges, and it was a very simple fight. Again, very similar because he's a global defender, is that you have to hit into the block in order to build up the prowess so that when you evade, they don't disappear, and he doesn't get the indestructible charges. So other than that, nothing too crazy. Again, I'm going to let the music play out on this one, and we'll see you at the Nick Fury fight. Next up, we have a hazard shift Nick Fury with aggression prowess, which is going to be really annoying, and so it's incinerate and shock. So we're going to go in with Iceman here, and at the beginning of the fight we can parry and we can hit in during the incinerate phase, and then we have to back off during the shock phase, or only hit into the block during the shock phase. And again, we have to hit into the block in order to get prowess because he is a global attacker anyways. So we're going to try and push to special 2s if we can. Then afterwards, again, we can hit into the block in order to get our prowess. But the longer we don't hit him, the more prowess he is getting. So when he does, if he does get to like a single bar and he throws a special 1, there was an unintentional striker, which is very annoying. But here, like, we're in the shock phase, and I want to push him to a special 2. So luckily he turtles up, and we're able to push him to a special 2. But what happens is when that you can't push him to a special 2, and he's stuck at 1 bar of power. If he has a lot of prowess, that hit is going to, even like on the block, even just for a little bit, is going to hurt. And then in his second phase, he can potentially be unblockable with it, or depending on how many tactical charges he has. Again, he gets less against a mutant, but in that second phase, it's a little bit harder to manage. And again, on the other account, I used a combination of Negasonic with a Odin pre-fight, so she was shock immune, and Kushala, who was incinerate immune. Both of them also global attackers similar to Iceman, so that we can hit into the block and get those prowess, or parry to get those prowess. So I try my best to, you know, obviously I'd love a solo, but we're going to do our best here on this one. There, we force another special 2, another special 1, and you can see here lots of damage blocking that special 1. And if you try to evade the rest of it instead of taking all the hits, right, then you are going to lose all your prowess that you had built up, and then you don't want to get him that indestructible charge. That is the other thing you're trying to avoid. So a lot of things going on with Nick Fury, but Iceman was able to do at least the first phase pretty well here. I think it's what happens is I think in the second phase he hits extremely hard if he has a couple prowess on. Like here, there is a invul boost on this node as well, where the first 3 hits you take, you don't take any damage. So those were the first 3 hits right there. I think here we do manage to get him into the second phase on our first run. But again, I think he's going to go, I think it's just a special 1 on the block that is going to get me. So So there, we finally are almost getting him out of that life model, like the life model decoy. So now we just have to make sure that we've got enough prowess on so that he can just tick away. And let's see if we can get him down. You know, I think he gets close to like 30%. And you can see all those evades that I'm doing are just removing my prowess, which is not great. And you can see here, even I evaded that last bit, and there's pretty much no more blocked hits that I can take. So I think I'm going to end up dying here, but at least we get as much damage in as we can. We've got a little bit left, but I think I get rocked here. So I've healed up to full, and I just do not play well at all. I do not get, I should have been baiting heavies, and like that. But at the very beginning, instead I waited too long, and now he's in the worst possible spot where he's in the shock phase, and he has a special one. So I basically, now he's got the indestructible charges. I have to remove those. He gets an unblockable special one. And even though I can block the last part of it there, I guess it wasn't unblockable the entire time, but I take so much block damage from this Nick Fury. And you can see I was healed up to full, and I'm just absolutely going to get wrecked here. So another one on just the chip damage from a couple prowess, and you're toast. So go for a nice little intercept there. And he almost got him down there. So here I go into just a 40% revive. And we are able to, can't remember, I think we get him. Yeah, we got him there. So not too bad. But Adam Warlock, I get absolutely wrecked on. Just the annoying node where, like, when a buff expires, you have to throw a heavy attack. And I don't do that particularly well on this one. But even though I can neutralize Adam Warlock, he still keeps getting some of the buffs. And because he keeps getting some of the buffs and they expire, it keeps messing with the falter on the node. So it's just a very annoying node here with Adam Warlock. I think I might have even done it during the season, but I just didn't play very well here. So yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I got rocked pretty hard. Again, similar stuff. He's a global attacker, or a global defender. We're a global attacker. If we can hit into the block and build up our prowess so that we can evade or block the specials without getting destroyed. So, you know, it is what it is. I was so far deep into this run already, and I played pretty well so far. A bunch of solos and not too many revives, but this one eats up like 3 or 4 revives with Wiccan. So I'm just gonna let the video play out, and you can watch me struggle on this one, and then we'll see you at the Shuri fight. Alright, we finally got down Adam Warlock. The next one up is Shuri. I actually did end up soloing this one. On my main account with Viv, was thinking I would get the same thing here, but no, I made some mistakes. But with Conflictor, you can phase to get openings, which is great. And I just need to do my usual phase 2 and then phase 1. Special 2 and then special 1. The main thing here is that when she does get a couple prowess, her special 1 hits really hard into the block. So either you have to stagger your attacks so that you're not doing the same one twice in a row. And then you can see here if I also was really struggling in this one countering the special 1. Usually that's a really easy thing for me when I'm fighting Shuri, but at this particular fight, I was just doing a really bad job at it. So I get my special 2, and then I can't use unblockable special 1s into her block because she can block unblockable specials. So I need to throw a hit in order to throw my special 1s. So we get her special 2 off. Now, she throws the special 1. If I throw I have to see, I pressed my attack too late, and she had triggered her untouchable, which is really annoying. But here, this is what we normally need to do: just a hit, and then throw our, we can phase hit, and then throw the special 1, and she won't be able to block it. So as long as she's not blocking, then I can get my special in, no problem. It's just she can block unblockable specials, which is a good thing if you have Shuri, I guess, but not for this particular one. But I take too much chip damage on this particular fight, too many of the special ones that I took the entire thing on the block instead of evading the last beam, and there when I try to, it doesn't work. So I get clapped. But we go back in and we do the usual Viv things here. So nothing too crazy. But I did love Viv for this challenge. She worked really well on both sides for the fights that she could do. Here again, I'm just going to try and bait Shuri into attacking in to give me a phase opening. There, that was a clean evade, so that's what I needed, more of those evade encounters. So that's more of what I needed. We get a 4-time solar burst. There's another good evade encounter, which I needed in that first fight, that's for sure. And there we go, we can throw our special 1, and again we can phase after, or we can attack in after this special 1 and finish it with our own. So only 1 revive with Viv for Shuri, and then I did try Wiccan for Thing, and then I brought in a 5-star Void just in case I mess up, which is exactly what happens, because I do mess up with Wiccan where I forget. I got confused after I threw a special 2. I put too many debuffs on and lost track of where the neutralize was. Didn't realize the neutralize was on, gave him the unstoppable, and I got absolutely clapped. But if you pay attention to the neutralize, or you just do your normal counting even though you have Wiccan, because the neutralize will prevent the unstoppable from happening. But so I don't play particularly well with Wiccan, and then I end up, you'll see what happens here. So I get to the 15 rock stacks, he throws a special, okay, great. And then we continue counting at the beginning. And again, I put on the medium combo for the incinerate, go back to the light ender, and then I see the neutralize is falling off, and I have to apply it again, which I do, plus a special 2, which is good. It takes off some decent chunks of damage. But again, I totally got confused with all the debuffs that I had put on, and right there, I didn't realize that the neutralize had expired, and I get clapped. So I bring in my 5-star Void, and we do the fight exactly like we did on the main account on the first run, which is just hitting into the block to count to make sure he's at 15, and then just keep countering his specials and just keeping an eye on the rock stacks. Lots of counting, lots of hitting into the block, because you need to hit into the block anyway because he's a global defender, and you need those prowess in case you end up losing charges when he attacks in and you have to evade. So again, I'm going to let the music play out for this one, but the exact same fight as my max ascended 6-star. Instead, we're dealing with a ascended, I think it's, I'm not even sure if he's ascended, but I've got just a max 5-star void. Does the exact same thing. Not, it probably takes a little bit longer to get through, but easy fight with against Thing with Void. So even if you have a 5-star, it'll still work for it. So hopefully that helps, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.